the best part of CamundaCon for me is coming together. So I've met a lot of people here again, yesterday and today, that shared their stories, their experiences, their questions, their challenges, and that energy that comes with it, like the idea of what is possible and like this art of the possible, it just doesn't come across as much virtually. So I love it to come here together and feel that energy in the room. And I also have to say that I'm really, really happy and grateful for how this conference was organized. So I think from day one to like today and the finishing, it's very smooth, it's very nicely orchestrated. So at that point, I would also like to say thank you to the team that made it happen, and in particular to Kaya Pelka. So thank you so much.
Kaya loves being shouted out. She really likes the attention. No, yeah, of course, I think we all feel the same. The Camunda events team is really second to none, and every CamundaCon gets better. So, yeah, and every CamundaCon gets bigger, which is also a challenge. So, yeah. Bernd.
Same question?
No, we're going to talk to AI now. Okay. Big surprise. So, of course, big theme, enterprise-grade agents. We have Jakob talking about it, Daniel talking about it, you and Bastian gave a demo of it. So what excites you the most about like what we're probably going to see over the next 12 to 18 months with what people will be building with this agentic AI stuff?
I would start one step before that. I think what excites me most is that people are now really starting doing something. So and I discussed that with a couple of the partners, with a couple of the customers, that with the agentic movement now, people are really seeing the urge to do something, the urge to move. They really understand that this is nothing they can just like sit and wait, but they actually have to act. And still we have that trust gap and these not knowing how, and there are a lot of things unclear, but we see a clear need of moving, and that excites me because that gives us a lot of opportunity also together with the partners and the customers to do things and to start getting into that and not discussing for ages if the why and why. It's clear why. Let's get going. And at the same time, and that's what it kind of, I'm not sure if that's the right way of phrasing it, but they're really excited of what we bring to the table with all the basis we have with the process orchestration layer, basically adding the agentic kind of on top of a lot of the features we can just build on. Is amazing to see unfolding how quickly you can build things. And I for example, loved the Finova keynote this morning because they really showed through what they were able to build in like basically a handful of days. And how much business value that already transported, and how that helps them internally to make a case for also, like, for example, certain architecture cleanup work that makes them ready for the future, which was really hard to get any budget for the last years, because it's kind of a whatever, refactoring, make it clean, make it future ready, was not a business case, but now there's a business case to also make that work. So that was quite a long answer, but that's kind of what excites me in the current situation. And because I was still in my head thinking about the question you asked Jakob, like around the conference.
You're also allowed to talk about
that. Okay. You can also say thank you.
But
I give you permission.
I think then here also you can sense that energy that comes from that. There's a lot of excitement. Of course, there's also like questions like how do I do that? But there's a lot of excitement now going into that, and that's great to see.
Yeah, I've noticed a bit of a change since CamundaCon Amsterdam when we first started talking about this, and we kind of had our first product announcement and iteration.
Was 6 months ago, right?
Which was 6 months ago, only 6 months ago. Yeah, for sure. And there was still skepticism, and of course there still is. I think some skepticism around AI is healthy, but I felt more of the, well, that's cool, but we're probably not going to use that. And then as we went into, Jakob, you were talking about all the POCs we've done with so many customers, this huge surge of interest, and then it's actually paying off really quickly. Like, it's not just that you can build it fast, you can actually get it out there fast and start using it. It's very unlike anything else. So yeah, that's exciting. Building stuff is exciting. It brings the energy. So Jakob, if you happens to be an IT or business leader, maybe, you're going back to work tomorrow or maybe on Monday. What's the first step you should take, or the first kind of learning from CamundaCon that you might start applying, or maybe sharing with your team to apply?
Yeah, so it's a recurring theme actually. So we had these discussions also over the course of the past 2 days. I think the big difference compared to, I don't know, let's say previous years also in our space, in the process automation space, is that in previous years we had thought about, okay, certain processes are running in a certain way, in a certain technical implementation, and that was good or bad, right? We have many customers that wanted to move away from the big legacy BPMS vendors to Camunda for the obvious reasons. That's what has happened in the past years. But the situation now is different. Now we have a situation where we can suddenly automate things that we just could never automate before, which means that we have to be a bit more creative. We can really look at our organization, we can look at what is happening in my organization, like what are my people working on actually, and can we potentially get a productivity boost by applying agentic orchestration and hence also agentic AI in my business operations? Can we increase the productivity of my staff? So that's a different way to think about this, right? So I would suggest, and I've seen that firsthand myself, to have these conversations. So for example, I once spoke to, this is a fun anecdote, I once spoke to a chief operations officer a couple of months ago at a big insurance company in Germany. And the IT team had advised me to not mention AI so much because there were concerns about privacy, data residency, etc. So I then said, yeah, I don't know about AI, if I should talk about this here. And she said, yes, please talk about that to me. She was not technical, right? She was Chief Operations Officer. So I spoke a bit about what we're up to with agentic orchestration, which is, in fairness, a bit technical as a concept. But she jumped on that right away. Like right away she said, okay, this is exactly what I'm looking at right now. I'm trying to understand how can I apply AI in my operations to get more stuff done with the people that I have. And she came up with a use case. In that case, it was risk assessment and selling health insurances, and POC'd that right away. So that's the kind of conversations that I believe can happen now broadly in your organization. So it's a bit like, okay, let's be creative here. Let's look at how we work together today and how we can potentially apply agentic orchestration and enterprise agentic automation to get a lot more out of what we have in our hands as of today.
Yeah,
makes sense?
Yeah,
Please say it makes
absolutely. Yeah. Sorry, I was processing that story, especially coming from a bank and a German bank, a very
insurance company, sorry, insurance.
Oh, insurance,
more conservative,
sorry.
actually.
Yeah, like very highly regulated, both for being in Germany, being in Europe, et cetera, and still some excitement there, and also not about the short-term memory, long-term memory, LLM, et cetera, but how can I get more done with. Yeah, for sure.
How to apply this in my daily life, basically.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Anything from you?
Not necessarily.
Okay. No, I actually, what I really wanted to ask you, and this actually, it could be a question for you both, but I'm curious. Of course, we hope people are walking away with inspiration. I think we know people are. But what about if they feel overwhelmed? Is there something that they can take back to when they go back to their work and their daily life that will sort of help them get a handle on, okay, can I find a starting point that's realistic?
Mm-hmm. Shall I start? It always depends a little bit on the role, what you're doing, so that might determine what you do, but I always look at it from a, let's say, more this builder side of things, the more technical side of things, and there my recommendation is always try it out, get your hands on it. I mean, that's what we also try to get across in the keynote. That's why it's a live demo. That's why we share the link where you can play around with it. It's there. It's real. It's not slideware. It's something you can get your hands on tomorrow, basically, if you like. And then you can build your first things. So we have templates in the marketplace where you can start doing things, or you can build it yourself. And you can do something relatively quickly. And for me, that I know it for myself, I know it for a lot of people which I talk to, it reduces that stress level, that feeling of being overwhelmed when you start doing things and start to understand how it really ticks. And that doesn't take weeks, it's really more in the bucket of hours. Yeah. And that would be my advice, at least to a more technical audience.
Yeah, definitely. I just had a flashback to building my first website at age like 14, which is definitely dating me. But it was the same thing where it was such a cool experience I wrote a little HTML. This was before CSS, which is also dating me. And then I saw it on the screen, and then I changed it, and I saw it on the screen. And it's, I don't know, I feel like it's...
Yeah.
I've got a little builder spirit in me, too.
It's exactly that loop you go into then, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Jakob, on that topic or just in general, any parting advice for everybody?
I would actually say that, first of all, I love what you said. So going from concepts, yeah, thank you for that, concepts and slides, right, to just get your hands on the thing and build something.
Yeah.
And yes, I would really highly advise everyone in the audience to just try it out. So just get your hands on Camunda, try out the new things. Maybe you're hitting a wall somewhere, then let us know about that, right? So that we can improve the user experience. But we're really now at that stage where we can make it happen. And nothing is as compelling at actually seeing it running in production or just in a prototype. And that's what we've also seen over the summer. So another anecdote is from a big, I think it was actually on LinkedIn, right? So big German company, telco company, where they wanted to run a workshop, a POC, to try out if they could actually automate a certain customer service use case. And they had, I believe, reserved 2 days for that. And I think after 4 hours they were done. That sort of experiences, I believe, that is now right in front of us. So I would suggest that, yes, get your hands on the product, as you just said, right? And try it out. So is that my final words?
Those can be your final words. Actually, okay. I want to say something first. Yeah. Just one more plug for yes, definitely get your hands on it and try it out. But if you want to work together with Camunda on it, get in touch with us, talk to your customer success manager, talk to our sales team, grab any Camundi who are here in the building today, because we had such great success doing these POCs with our customers. I think we learned a lot about the possibilities for AI, across so many different use cases. And also, yeah, we can help you get your hands on it and hopefully get you into production that quickly. All right, now you're allowed to say your last words.
I love that. Yeah. So last thought from my end. I think this is also a community that we have here, right? So we have the Camundi, our own people, we have our customers, we have our partners. So all of us together build a community. And I always find it interesting to think about, okay, what defines that community? What is sort of the North Star or the flag that we rally around that actually ties us together? And of course, yes, the topic is exciting. So automation is exciting, AI is exciting, so there's a certain passion for what is possible here. But then there's also the spirit that sort of drives us. And question to you, Bernd, we didn't rehearse that, but just curious. Do you remember when the two of us met and we sat down together about, hey, should we start a company? And we got this inspiration from this guy, called Guy. Exactly. Kawasaki, yeah, so what was his mantra again that he had?
There were a couple of those.
Yeah, the first one.
How was that? Make meaning?
Yeah, exactly. Make meaning. Yeah. Make meaning.
I think that's and hire better than yourself. I think that's the two that stuck with me.
That also
make meaning is the
exactly, and that really stuck. I think with the two of us actually, right? So that tied us together right from day one. The idea of let's make meaning. Let's create something meaningful, something that we really believe in, that we are proud of, that has a certain impact in this world. We saw yesterday, for example, the WellPoint story, right, about helping the elderly. So that makes meaning. And what that gentleman called Guy Kawasaki said is, okay, if you want to make meaning and you go all in on that, then you also have a certain chance to make money if you're smart about that. If you start a company just to make money, you don't make meaning and you don't make money, potentially, or at least likely. So focus on making meaning. And that's the first, I would say, flag that I would like to put in and say, let's make meaning together. Let's create meaningful things as partners, customers together, because that will then also make money and it does make a positive difference. The second point is that I believe we're all pretty driven, and that is good. So we want to make big stuff happen fast. And then let's also be kind. Let's be honest with another. Let's be considerate. Let's be respectful, because it's pretty tough out there these days. And we can be both. We can be driven and kind, make great things happen together as a community, and in that sense also make meaning. So with that, I'm done. Thank you.
I think those are great parting words. Thank you both so much.